Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Wrestling Carcast. Of course, I'm filming this on Friday. Probably won't be uploaded until Saturday. Hopefully, news didn't break over the weekend. Oh my God! Always. It's always how it happens. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining in. This is kind of like a wrestling podcast, but I'm filming it in my car. Hence the Wrestling Carcast. Happens every Friday. Depending on when I get home from work or if I'm going somewhere. Like right now, I'm going to meet some friends for dinner. So I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to upload this until the next day. But it'll basically be Friday, Saturday. But I will film it for you guys on Friday. But yeah, today's topic, I want to talk about the NXT Call Ups that happened this week. So if you guys didn't watch Raw, Smackdown, or NXT, I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. So close your ears if you have. So Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, and Tommaso Ciampa, they all four debuted on Raw and Smackdown this week. Holy cow, that's a big caliber of NXT call-ups. So I know they just literally did some NXT call-ups. They had Lacey Evans, EC3, Nikki Cross, the Heavy Machinery. I couldn't remember the first part. And Lars Sullivan, which he hasn't even debuted yet. But yeah, so all these wrestlers from NXT are coming, and it's just crazy right now because there's a lot of new blood. And same type of WWE writing and stuff like that. So I think really quick before we talk a lot about the wrestlers. What's shaking? I don't know if you hear that. What the hell is that noise? Okay, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. There's this big old in the background. Sorry about that. It's distracting me. Anyways, what the heck was I talking about? Damn it. Let me just go back to the NXT wrestlers. So yes, 4 wrestlers debuted on Raw and SmackDown, and the reasoning behind this was Vince McMahon was basically looking at the ratings, and because typically during this time, it's WrestleMania time, and usually ratings are going, at a high because, they're basically WrestleMania is WrestleMania. Usually it dips somewhat in summer and fall, especially with football season and stuff like that, to be expected. But during this time, this is usually when it's a bit higher than how it was in the rest of the year. And WWE's trend is they have been going down and down and down. Not sharp decline, but it's steady decline. And they're basically right now trying to get these contracts with Fox, for example. They're going to be taking SmackDown this coming year, and in their contract stipulations, they need to be meeting a certain quota of ratings and stuff like that, or they can pull out of their contract. All these things are factoring into what can WWE do to get the ratings up. Their first thing that they did was they were saying, we're going to give fans what they want. Set it right out there just so that they could say 2019 is going to be a different year. We're going to be, trying stuff differently, and we're going to, give fans what they want. And for the most part, looking at the card with the Royal Rumble, and such, they are putting together matches that fans would actually want to see. So they are actually, going in a progressive way. But I think the big problem with WWE is just the writing in general, the storyline. Minus the NXT people that are coming up, the roster that WWE has, they have a killer lineup. This lineup is better than it has ever been, and I want to say it even competes with the Attitude Era in terms of just talent that they have on their roster. So roster wise, they have talent. They have they have everything that they need. They have like, you know, superstars that have not wrestled each other. They can have like fresh ideas, fresh, you know, new matchups and whatnot. But WWE is just continuously dropping the ball in there, and I haven't really seen a huge progression towards that in 2019 so far. So like right now, they're giving the matchups that we want, but they're not giving the storylines or you know, just the writing in general. Like they're not doing that good of a job in that section. Oh my God, I hit traffic. No. You get it all on the Carcast. So yeah, so it's seriously like it's like they're in this mentality that, like, you know, they're saying, like, they're thinking, you know, if we give the fans what they want to see, because they want to see, you know, they're just reading like the dirt sheets and saying like, oh yeah, we definitely want to have these two wrestlers meet up. Like, you know, Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar was a perfect example. We've been wanting to see that matchup for a very long time, but they didn't give it to us in the fashion that we wanted it to. They basically did this storyline just randomly. Like, it was just like, I think it was just like a week before, and they were like, hey, week before, oh my God, this car, just really quick, this car literally ran off the road. Oh my God. And then like crashed into the, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's why the traffic stopped. Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised that car didn't flip. Jesus Christ. God, I got distracted by chaos. There's a whole bunch of police and everything. That's cool. What the hell was I saying? No, so yeah, WWE, like, they're giving us the matches that we want, but they're not giving us the storylines. Oh yeah, the Finn Balor. So they made it. They made that match like not even like they're like, oh, Braun Strowman's gonna fight. Okay, the fans don't want that, so let's switch it up to Finn Balor. But they gave no storyline for him. Like, it was like, if they would have did like a, you know, like a good build to the match, we could have had an instance where we would have been like, I actually see Finn Balor winning the belt or actually being some sort of competition. But we all knew that Brock Lesnar was going to beat him. Like, we all knew. And, you know, they could have changed it up. You know what we want to see. If they would have wanted to give us what we wanted to see, we would have saw the Demon Finn Balor wrestle Brock Lesnar. And yes, that match, I would have been like, oh my God, I don't know who's going to win. Like seriously, like, that's what we wanted to see. But they're not doing that sort of thing, and like their matchups are still, you know, they're not, you know, yeah, I want to see these guys' match up, but when I see like a chokehold for like 2 minutes while the match is only 4 minutes, it's like, that's not the match that I want to see. NXT's a perfect example. That is freaking wrestling. That is amazing. The product that they give in NXT and even 205 Live, they're doing excellent in the wrestling department. And I know that like they still do the, you know, the resting holds and stuff like that. Like, you know, they play towards the cameras and cues and stuff like that. But they need to break that formula on Raw and SmackDown. It's too formula. Going into Raw and SmackDown, I can usually call who's gonna win every match that I see. I know who's going to come interrupt in the match. I know who's going to be feuding in next week's. I know I could call everything. And when that happens, and especially when you have matchups like, you know, where they're feuding for like 3 months, is like, you know exactly what's going to happen on Raw. You know what's going to happen on SmackDown. So when you miss Raw and SmackDown, you literally don't miss a thing, because you can pick it up in 2 weeks and really quickly catch up to what you missed. And that's the true problem of WWE right now. Is like, it's the formula is just, you know, I know they call it the mainstream formula, like well, that's, you know, you have to think of the mainstream and stuff like that, but it's just like, but the thing is, you could see by the ratings, you're not keeping the fans that are there. Like, and when you have 50-50 booking, and by that I mean you have these wrestlers that you debut and they fight, they lose one match and they win one match, and you do that with every wrestler, because you're trying to prolong a feud, you basically have this person's gonna get the first win, second person's gonna get the second win, they're gonna have a tag match, they're gonna win here, and then another tag match, but the other person's gonna win, and they do that 50-50, back and forth, but we're watching the same matchup, we're watching the same chokeholds, we're watching the same the same thing, and it's just it's hard to get people over when it's the same old. It's really hard, and Raw and Smackdown show that. Almost every NXT star, or not even star, NXT wrestler that is not even a title holder, they're just mid-carder. They come in super popular. They come in and they literally just get watered down right away. Ty Dillinger, he's a perfect example. That guy was hot when he first came in. Everybody was just oh my God, it's Ty Dillinger. 10, 10, 10. There was chants. There was everybody was excited to see him. And, he came at the Royal Rumble and just, everybody flipped out when he came out. It was super cool to see. And then they proceeded to do absolutely nothing with Ty Dillinger. And now, if you guys didn't hear the news, he asked for his release for WWE, so he's going to be out of WWE, and which is really sad because he was. I thought they were gonna do something good with him, but it's just the same old with WWE. They do this 50-50 booking. They don't have them periodically on every show. If they do show them, either they're a jobber or they're in a 1-minute match, and then they wonder, oh, this guy's not a star because they're not cheering for them. Well, it's because you did nothing with them. Bobby Roode, he comes in, you treat him just like he's an entrance. This guy is talent. Pardon my French from TNA, but he had the it factor. He knew what he was doing, and they did nothing with him. I thought when he won the U.S. title, I thought they were gonna do something, but they literally just didn't do anything with him. And it's that's where everybody is frustrated. And it's we want to see all these people succeed, and we want to see all this, but all these NXT wrestlers that the ones that I just named, the 6 that I named that came to WWE just recently, EC3, they showed up and they've done nothing with them. And then Vince McMahon's basically why aren't these guys stars? Well, because you don't treat them like stars. You don't there's nothing for me as a fan that tells me to like this person. There's nothing. Some people actually do make it out of there, let's just say the Otis from Heavy Machinery, but that's because himself is getting over while they're giving them nothing. They're storyline wise and booking wise, they're given nothing. And Otis is getting over because he knows he's a freaking entertainer. He's doing really well on his own just because of that. But shouldn't the company that you're working for give you that leverage of just to make it? And they're no, you have to pay your dues and stuff like that. It's bullshit. Just put on a good product for once. Seriously. So anyways, I wanted to explain all that because the NXT wrestlers that just showed up, the reason why they showed up was because Vince was we have no superstars. We need more, new blood. So who's the 4 best people that you have on NXT? Let's bring them in. And they literally got, a whole bunch of people, good wrestlers, the best, basically, in NXT, which is going to be a huge hit to NXT, by the way. And, they're putting them in this, on Raw and SmackDown, and they made them look like gold. Ciampa and Johnny, they beat the Revival. I know it's not a big deal because the Revival has been like losing like 50-50 basically, so like it's not that bad, I guess. But they had them show up strong. Like it wasn't like they're just shown in the background like Nikki Cross and everybody. Like they're like shown just flexing their muscles in front of a mirror or something like that. Like they're being shown off pretty good. So I'm actually happy with their debut so far. I think that they should have spread them out, because I think that they might get lost in the shuffle. However, right now they're currently, just as of this week, they focused on all 4 of them, which is really good in my opinion. Problem with that is, and this is the big news story that was in this week, was everybody backstage felt like they are worried about their spot. So just 1 second, I'm just gonna detract for a second. Imagine being these wrestlers where they're trying to claw and they're trying to show to the management, hey, give us something creatively so I can actually wrestle on this show. Give me something. Give me something, at least. And they're like trying to beg on this, and they're like, pick your spots, do this and blah, 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 blah. And these NXT wrestlers come in, the 6, and they're basically like, well, shit. That's 6 people that are going to take like some time away from like these other wrestlers. These wrestlers, the 6, they don't even give them any storyline time. They don't even get them any airtime. They don't do anything with these guys. And now they should be worried about their spot because they just literally lost their spot because of 4 new people. And it's just like, man. And I feel bad for all the other wrestlers. Like they're trying to give a storyline to Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, but they're like, well, now we don't have time for you guys. Thanks for being a tag team. like what the hell? It's just chaotic in WWE, and it boggles my mind that they can't do storylines right when you're watching NXT and you're going like, NXT is good. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but for what they're presenting, it's like I can follow it. It's great wrestling. It's good storylines. I like the progression of like the storylines, like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, for example. That is like killer. They always have match of the years because they're not doing the formula wrestling. They're just everything in general in NXT is amazing. And then it's just black and white when you watch Raw and Smackdown, where it's just like, what's happening? Like Smackdown, I want to say, I know I'm putting Smackdown on like in that category. Smackdown is doing better than I don't want to say usual. Better than Raw in the storyline department. And I think it's because of the 2-hour thing. That I think that's probably the reason. But I'm gonna have to go over here. It's getting busy right here. Yeah, but SmackDown's doing a little bit better, and I think it's because they rotate wrestlers, and they kind of have to focus on storylines a little bit more. And so, like, SmackDown, in my opinion, is better than Raw right now. But NXT still blows it out of the water. Like SmackDown still needs room for improvement. But it's getting there. And I appreciate that. And it might be just because, like, maybe Vince is just not, like, on top of SmackDown as he is on Raw. I don't know. I don't know what the real reason is, but I appreciate that SmackDown's at least doing something, where I feel like Raw has just been, the same old kind of thing. Well, anyways, what I hope is kind of like that thing what they were saying. Like, they want to change the way they do things. They want to change WWE. I really hope that they don't waste these 4 wrestlers. I hope that they don't waste the 6 wrestlers. I hope that they don't waste the entire roster. I want them to do good. I want to enjoy the product that I'm watching, right? So WWE, please, 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 just do better. I don't even know how to, I don't know how to say it. Like, it's just like, Jesus, like, and some of it's just common sense. Like, oh my God. Do better. That's my, wise words by MBW champion. Do better. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, so for all the wrestlers that are thinking that they're gonna, lose their spots and just frustration all around, I'm glad that there's competition coming. I'm glad. I'm hoping that AEW does well. I hope that TNA does, gets better with what they're doing. I like competition because it brings out the best. Right now, Vince is freaking out. That move of just, getting 4 wrestlers just randomly and like kind of just ruining storylines on NXT and stuff like that. Like the way that they were brought in and all that stuff, like it could have been so much better. Just imagine like an invasion angle. Like, I don't know, just so much stuff could have been done. And yeah, that's part of the frustrating part about it. It's just like why, like why? So yeah, so hopefully the competition makes them do better. But if not, we may see AEW just grab a lot of these wrestlers. And you know what? WWE would deserve it if that happens. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I know this went kind of long, but this is a really good topic. This is actually maybe. This is probably the pinnacle point of WWE, of like, can they get out of this rut, and can they do it while Vince is still in charge of it? Like, I know things are going to change once he's not in charge of everything, but right now it just feels like they promise a lot of things, but because of the way Vince acts, it still feels like the same old, and they can't get out of this formula if they're doing the same old. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next Friday on another Wrestling Carcast. Later.